Every episode should just start with us going, "What the fuck? Does this actually work?
Is this thing on?
I keep going through mixed, like there was a couple of weeks where I could just pull these videos out and strictly re-edit them. Like slap them right into an editor, no problem. But there's a couple weeks where they come out, and I don't know if it's just because Mixer is making changes, but it's got a variable transcode rate or something. I think it's them playing with transcoding. So I have to re-encode, like I have to re-fucking package everything again just so that I could edit it. It's really fucked up. It just makes for a really long time because it re-encodes out to a raw video, which makes it 60 gigs, and then I gotta move that to something
60 gigs.
Yeah, then I gotta retranscode that down to like 8 gigs, and then fucking edit it, and then encode the whole thing, like, and then fucking finish off. It just takes. It doesn't take long to do the process. It's like to transcode it into one file. It takes about an hour or something.
Oh man!
And then,
but this is time that you're doing at work, anyways, right?
Right. I'm paid at work to do.
Come on.
They pay me to edit this stuff.
Yeah,
but the skills, it's a media company, so essentially I'm learning media skills, which benefit the company, right? No?
Well, I mean, I guess yes, you're right.
Because video editors come to me for help. If I know the software, then
you're like, hey, fuck, I did this on I've done this on my podcast here at work. Let me show you how I do it.
Actually, ironically enough, so Alexa and Google Home and stuff like that. Those are there's the Amazon speakers and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So we do an app for Alexa. So you can say, Alexa, what are the scores? And the score app tells them, hey, by the way, I say, Alexa, what's the news? So the content people have to record the news from, like every morning they record the news and they upload it to the web host.
Are you one of the people that records the voices?
No. Fuck no, I don't want to be the voice.
So fucking cool.
But they were having problems. They were having problems editing, and they were. I was like, okay, guys, what's the problem? And I went in there, and it turns out they were recording it in OBS.
What?
And I was like, why are you recording? Like, we have Pro Tools and stuff like that. You could record the audio right from Pro Tools. It's like, this is what we know.
Well, you can't argue with that. I mean, it's what they know, right? I mean,
but ironically enough, because I do this stuff, I'm like, oh, well, you just need to go here and tweak this. And you know what I mean? Like, it all comes around full circle. Like,
you know what I mean? I feel like I'm so short in
my
video.
You're falling.
Am I feeling short?
I'm like,
I gotta tip the camera. I feel like I'm a tiny person.
Yeah, tip it down a little bit, because I feel like I'm staring at the top of your head.
Yeah, like let's do.
The music is very loud.
Wait, what music?
What music?
Womp womp.
We don't have music. Am I playing music? I don't hear any music.
Am I playing music?
No, I just turned up the audio from the chat and didn't hear any music. You trolling us?
Are you watching another stream too?
You watching 2 streams, bro?
Are you watching 2 streams, bro?
You know what? I can't be angry at that. You watch all the streams, man. You try to.
It says on this tab there is music. No, man, I'm dead serious.
JB,
like,
bruh.
I'm not messing with you, bruh.
I just turned on the audio of the stream. I don't hear no music. And
give it a solid refresh.
Hey, Ma, I'm done stuck. Played some PUBG the other day, or
okay.
I should say.
Talk to me.
I shouldn't say
Talk
the other
to
day.
me about PUBG.
This morning, and I was doing, "Hey, Ma, get off the dang roof," and Break a Day, who I was playing with, thought it was hilarious. So he just called us. He called me Cletus the whole time we played.
Nice,
and
nice. So, hi, Ma.
Hey, Ma.
Get off the dang roof.
We're down. Go and get some of them rifles up on this in there. Hey, this looks like Master Two shits.
We gotta go.
Okay.
All right, let's do this.
Big week.
Let's do this.
It was
Big
like
week.
fucking
Week 30.
games.
Big week. Best week for games.
Lots of
This
games.
is the best week for games. So many games we had to skip a game. I think.
Which
Or
one?
did you actually play it? Did you play any Assassin's Creed? I did not play Assassin's Creed.
Did you get Assassin's Creed?
No, but I am gonna get Assassin's Creed. I figured I will get it with the X.
So, Jen got Assassin's Creed, so it's loaded onto my Xbox.
God damn it!
But I think I'm in the same boat as you. I want to wait. You know, there's only one more week.
Yeah.
To the Xbox
It's only a
One
week
X.
away, right? Like, who cares?
I feel like I'll just load it on, and not only that, but it gives me, I can take it off my S and put it on my X,
Yep.
and have all that extra space. Hey, Stacey Lemons
Damn it!
coming in with this Scrubsy.
God damn it! Scrubsy
It's gonna hang around for a while.
God damn it!
So
30-8. Come on.
why wasn't it 31-8? So
Disrespect.
so yeah, I got Assassin's Creed, not playing it. Rather more addicted, like my mind is completely wrapped around Victor Vran. Like we played a bunch of
Victor Vran, yeah.
What did we play that on Tuesday?
We played it on Tuesday. We played it on Friday as well.
Yeah, played it on Friday. Those stairs, man. You know what?
No
That's
railing.
funny. That's
Ouch.
actually an ironic thing today.
Ouch.
My daughter called me and I went to run up the stairs and I fucking ran my knee right off the corner of it. And I was just like, he's like, ironically, you say it's not safe because I fucking hurt myself real good on them
There
today.
it is. No railing. I got to come over there, drill some holes in that wall of yours, and fucking set you up.
Yeah, no
Nice
thanks.
and pretty.
No thanks.
Look at this bad boy back there. Come
Yeah,
on now.
You got a nice little railing back there.
Safe. It was
little bit of
literally some
music with a banjo. Hey,
Get
Ma.
off the dang roof.
I'm going to Massachusetts. I believe you. I believe you.
I believe you, JB. I believe you.
All right,
Picture can be weird sometimes.
all right.
Oh, and it drops a
Hey, man,
follow.
you
It tells us that.
Follow too, no doubt.
Don't forget to follow Zorbs. He streams here. Actually, streams more than I do.
Hello, cutie
Shout
pie.
out, man. Appreciate it.
One of us is in deep trouble.
What was I saying? Yeah, Victor Vran. You
Victor
called
Vran,
it. You called it out on what, Monday? Was it Monday? You said, "Hey,
'cause
this
I
game's
saw
on
it was
special."
sale. I thought it was on sale, and it looked like something that we would probably enjoy playing. Because it was like a hack and slash game. It was up to 4 people online, which is important.
This is
And because we've been burned by it's a co-op game, and then we find out it's only it's only co-op local.
Victor
The
Vran.
game's called Victor Vran.
Yeah.
It's still on sale till tomorrow night, probably.
It's also on Steam. I'll just call it.
It's on Steam too.
So like
So it's
saying it's
it's
$27.
$10.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 27 Canadian. So it was 10.13 or something like that
Yeah,
on
Canadian.
on the Xbox Canadian. So I think it's about $10 American. And it's a great game. It's really fun. When I first saw that each area had like a star rating, I was really nervous about that. Like I thought, I was like, oh shit, it's like kill the guys and got to do it fast. And like I was like, all right, what kind of Angry Bird shit is there gonna pull on us with these stars? But actually, the stars are super straightforward, and it's not as tedious as I thought it would be. It was just kind of like, hey, kill these things with this weapon, or get through a level without getting hit, that kind of stuff. It seemed really, really straightforward, and yeah.
Ironically
Fantastic.
enough, I was thinking the same thing about it, because when I was mulling over it, I was just like, because I remember when that Gears of War game Judgment, it had a star
Yes.
rating, and I was like, this
Yes.
is bullshit.
Ugh.
I hated it.
Trash.
So
Trash.
I find it so funny that it is like, another game implements a star system. I find it complete trash, but with this, I find it completely interesting, and it's I don't know how different it is from Gears of War Judgment, because Gears of War Judgment was kind of the same, but I think a lot of them were time based.
Yeah, and that's what ruins it. I don't want to rush through things just so I can get like, a star thing. Also, I find that, when we would do a mission and like lose out on one of the stars, it was really easy to kind of leave the area and come back in. Like the loading
Yeah.
was like, 20 seconds and you were back into, trying the challenge again. It wasn't like, a minute long load or whatever. It was just kind of like, all right, go out the door, come back in, restart the challenge, and you're done. Like it was way easier.
Do you know? You know what's? It's kind of funny that the way this, the way it's implemented. It seems to be, like a lot of the features in this game seem to be unpopular features.
Yeah.
But somehow the way they cream them together makes it like perfect. Do you know what I mean? Like when we
Yeah.
first started hitting stuff and we saw that the loot wasn't it wasn't really shared. Do you know what I
Hmm.
mean? Like we were fighting stuff and loot wasn't shared. We're like, but it
I don't know
seemed
how
to
I feel
balance.
about this.
It seemed to
Yeah.
balance itself out in many ways. And
Yeah, when we would get to shops, it would still be like, you had 30,000 and I had, 29,000. Like it was pretty much the same. We were in the same neighborhood, so it
right.
wasn't didn't have to worry about like money and stuff like that.
And not only that, but gear. Like I really hate having to like with Diablo and having limited amount of gear. But this seems to be like I can pick up anything. I have 3 pages of slots, and you know what I mean. Like,
Yeah, tons of space to pick up stuff. Yeah.
and I don't have to juggle mid mid game really in order to you know what I mean. Like we could find
Yep.
a moment to do it. And you know what I find another thing I find I really like that I thought was maybe not a lot of guys, not a bunch of people would appreciate. I didn't like that it auto leveled. It'd be like you leveled, but until you pressed select to actually like
Yes.
to
Yeah.
actually level and do your stuff, you didn't level. And I was like, you know what? I like that. I think that's great. Like
Hmm.
uh, when you auto level in the middle of something, it seems to disrupt it, or it's kind of like you forget about it. Do you know what I mean? Where this
Yeah.
like because it didn't auto level, it's just like it's sitting there as a reminder. It's like okay, now I want to level and look at my stuff, and you know what I mean. You want to as
Yes.
soon as you're
Yeah.
done fighting it, it forces you to kind of look at that stuff. Whereas other times it's like I might level 2 or 3 times before I'm like, oh shit, I leveled. I could
Right. Yeah.
pick
I gotta
these
I gotta
skills.
look at these stats and change this stuff. Yeah.
So
No,
yeah, and you know it's just a crazy little ridiculous like you know what I mean. It's a crazy
the
like
voice acting is terrible,
yeah
but also endearing.
yeah
It's like I still really like it's totally like smaller European developer. Like you get that vibe, and it's like okay, I'm pretty sure the main actor is the main actor from Witcher. Uh, and like, but some of the enemies were just kind of like, did this guy just like phone this in and doesn't know
yeah.
what's happening? Because he's just kind of like reading it off a piece of paper. You're like, okay, I guess. I don't know. Uh,
What did you
you were
think
saying,
of the monsters though? Like what did you think how they there's a good variety with the weapons and stuff, you know?
yeah. The weapons were really different. I like that they there's weight to your hits when you're hitting somebody, and also like when you finally get a final blow, if it's like a crushing hit, like the body kind of flops over and like flies over and stuff, and I kind of love that stuff. There's something about like I was playing Path of Exile, and you killed somebody, and then he just kind of goes into his death animation and flops over. It's not. Whereas this one, it just kind of like they turned off the controls for the body and then just say like ragdoll, doesn't matter where he lands, and just kind of like let the physics figure out where he lands. And that's really fun. I like that stuff a lot.
Yeah, me too.
So it's very satisfying when you kind of go in with like a gigantic smash and it's like fuck, that felt so good. um where like we were playing co-op, and it always was like, well shit, I want to get that last hit in. So that when we're tag teaming a guy, just kind of like, I want to get that last hit in, so just really fucking blast this guy off. This is gonna be awesome. um Yeah, that game is really fun, and it's hard. I found myself kind of like I almost tried to convince myself to just like maybe I should just kind of play it just to kind of clean up this last little bit. And I was nope, not gonna do it. I'm gonna wait till we have another co-op night, and we'll play it, from where we left off. But it was like I was legit kind of like, he's not gonna mind if I just kind of figure this out here. Don't worry about it. It's kind of I'll just find this last chest or whatever. Like, no. So yeah, no, it is gonna be the because it's so much fun co-op. Like I really love it. So
Well, I
and,
went back. I went back that one day because we got disconnected on Friday.
Yes,
right at the end of Friday,
yes.
just when we were finishing up, we got disconnected, and we were just finishing a mission. And you said you'd gone back to get that final star, so I went back and got that
Yes.
final star, and I thought, while I'm here, maybe I'll find that last secret that we didn't find.
Oh, right, yeah. So I still need to find that.
Mm-hmm.
I will say I went back to the hub and I noticed because we're early on. We're just level 16. I think the max is level 50. I want to say
Mm-hmm.
there's an achievement for getting level 50. So I'm just assuming that's the highest rank. It's probably 100, but who knows? Anyways, at level 16, there's this like transmogrification thingy that you get to, and that has recipes for your weapons. So you can, how we were picking up like greedy shotgun of the whatever.
Yeah.
Well, you can add those prefixes to your weapons now with those recipes. So you can make it like a vampiric sword of whatever by using the demonic powers, the extra demonic powers. And of course, I found that out after I had sold all of mine. And when I went back to get to buy them back, they were all gone because I had left the area and then come back. I was like, god damn it! So yeah, I'm going to be farming demonic relics or whatever those things are called.
So they relics, or just you transmutate the weapons with the weapons?
You put in the weapon that you want to upgrade. There's two
I
variations to it. You can put in two weapons and then you get a random one out, or you put in a weapon and then put in the demonic things underneath, like 3 of them, in various combinations to get various outcomes. And in the they have like an index in game, and it lists all of the combinations. So it's not like it's not guesswork. It's all there.
I'll have to take I had dye from, I guess we leveled up at some point and got dye.
Yes.
So I put the green dye on my armor, so it like I'm in green, but I didn't think about the actual merging the weapons and stuff. So it looks like there's more to it than.
So just like a little added depth to the game, which is nice.
So how much time do you think we've put into it now? Maybe 5 hours?
I'd say about 5 hours. Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet.
And having loads of fun. Like I have the $10 was totally worth it. Like, I feel like I got my money's worth already. So yeah, absolutely. And we'll play it more for sure.
Yeah. You've redeemed yourself by suggesting this game. Like,
this is what I do. This is what I bring to the table.
I was cleaning up my hard drive, and I was like, I had no problems getting rid of Living Dungeon. I was just like, Living Dungeon, delete. I'm not. You are gone. And I literally deleted it this weekend. It's like, I now have Victor Vran. I can get rid of this.
All has not my fault. All this. It's not my fault. I thought it was online.
I think it is online now, though. Didn't they just?
It is online now, but man, it's too late. Too little, too late.
The time has gone.
It's dead to me.
All right, let's move on to what else is next. You've been playing a lot of Wolfenstein.
Yes. So Wolfenstein 2 came out. The New Colossus. And that game is great. I really love it. If you liked the New Order, it's more of that. And you know, uh, BJ Blazkowicz is back and kicking ass, and it's gory as all get out. They're shooting people's legs off, and fucking, it's just great. I mean, it's not Soldier of Fortune gory, but it's pretty good. It's real good. The melee kills are super good. Not rip and tear like Doom, but pretty close.
It's built on that engine though, isn't it? Because it looks like
It
it
is.
has.
It's totally built on that engine. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, and I think it looks great. Like the levels are fun to kind of move around in. Um, I feel like your dude at the beginning is a little weak, but they have like a perk system where it's like, you know, if you do 5 stealth kills, you know, your crouch movement is faster. If you do, if you do headshots, then you have more ammo or that kind of stuff. So you can build your character up so that it's not that bad. But they have this weird thing where your health only goes up to 50. And if you collect more health, you can bump it up to 200. But if you bump your health up to, is it 200 or 150? Maybe it's 150. If you bump your health up to 150, it slowly drops back down to 50.
It's a boost.
I don't know why it goes to 50, but it does. And I'm like, I don't. And I'm like, maybe. So I was like, maybe I'm not picking up the right thing. Like maybe when you pick up bandages, it'll get you up to 100, and if you pick up just like health packs, it'll take you to.
Sorry.
It'll take you to. It just gives you that overdraft, which kind of dips down again. But I think it's 50, and that's it. And if you kind of waltz into the middle of a firefight and start shooting people, you're dead. And there's no real indication as to like you're getting fucked up until you hit 10%. And then it kind of slows down a little bit and gets a little darker, and you're like, oh shit, I'm really hurt. But at 10%, it's like one more shot and you're dead anyway. So it's real tough. Now, the checkpoint system isn't great, but there's a save anywhere feature. And that's kind of how I've been playing it. So like, you take down a couple guys, hide for a little bit, save, go back in, fuck people up, save. Like it's totally, I feel like a save scummer, but like I find it's way more enjoyable that way. Also, if you kind of want to sneak around, because there's like commanders you have to take out, and if the fit hits the shan and the commanders are still alive, they'll send in reinforcements, which makes the fight even harder, right? So the idea is to kind of sneak up, kill the commander, and then take everybody else out, so that there's no more reinforcements.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's like you're trying to get to the commander who's way off on the other side of the map, and somebody sees you, the alarms go off, and you're like, oh fuck, now I'm really in it. So saving it often is key. But having said that, I'm having a blast with it. And there's some super gory moments. Like I streamed a bit of it on Thursday, and just even that first intro bit, where you're reintroduced to the main villain, like there's some fucking, it's like, holy shit, this is intense. And then like 2 levels later, you're in this conversation that you're howling, like it's just stupid funny, like it's really good. And then there's like another moment where you're just like, okay, this is super sad again, like god damn it, guys. So yeah, it's good. More story than you would ever expect out of a Wolfenstein game, but that's kind of what I would have said about the New Order too.
Yeah, I was
so
gonna say,
if you haven't played New Order, like it's so good.
It's also
and
on special, the New Order with the Old Blood. It's like
yes,
$19 or something Canadian.
Yeah, it's and that's a great pack. That expansion game isn't as stellar as the New Order, but I still really enjoyed it. It had a couple spots I was like, meh, but I super did enjoy it. There's
Yeah.
collectibles and stuff, and I totally am gonna play this again. Like I'm playing it through it now, and when I get the X, I'm gonna play it on a harder difficulty, and see how much better the experience is on the X.
How much time do you think you've put into it now? Because I thought I had a pretty
I'm
short
at-
story, but I feel like you've been playing it
I'm-
for a good 10, 12 hours.
I think it said I'm at 13 hours, and I'm about. Well, I'm not sure where I am. I'm at a farm, is what I can tell you. But it doesn't look like I've done. It feels like I'm in the first quarter of the game.
Wow.
Now, I'm a guy that searches and finds, like, I want to find all the collectibles and stuff. So I'll like kill people and then run around the areas, like looking for like all the pickups and things like that. So I will say I am playing it slower than most. But I'm enjoying every minute of it. Like, it's really good.
I saw Magnetron playing it the other day, and I watched him for about a good hour, and he was like in a wheelchair going around this submarine, I think.
Yeah, that's
And,
that's the first area.
Is the first area, and I'm
Mhm.
like, wow, this is great that this level is like this submarine is so wheelchair accessible, and it's making comments because this is ridiculous, but it's like at the same time I'm like, I can't even be mad at that.
That when the guys in that area where you get the little like electromagnetic fences or whatever,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
the guys walk through it and just kind of pop and just turn into like jam. That shit is that shit is pretty intense. The way they're just going. Oh,
It was funny because Magnetron kept turning on the traps and then forgetting to turn them off, and then
Yeah,
like zapping
I
himself.
died a bunch of times that way too. Yeah,
And
I'm glad I'm not the only one. Good.
Yeah. And it's just like he would turn it off, start wheeling away, and we'd be like typing in chat, dude, the trap. And it's like, even though there's like a slow a slow time, he's not quite looking at the chat, and he's just like, I don't know how many times. That was great. It was great. Yeah.
I had it set to a harder difficulty, and I ended up turning it down one. So I think I'm on Bring It On, because like I hadn't done any of the perks, and I'd forgotten about the perks. So I was getting just destroyed by people, like, like 5 shots and you're dead. You're like, fuck, this game wasn't that hard the first time I played this. Like, I don't remember it being this fucking hard. And then I forgot that. I was like, oh, right, the fucking perks. Yes. So I'll play it on an easier difficulty. And then when I get all the perks maxed out, I'll play it again at the hardest difficulty or whatnot. So yeah, that's how I'm playing it this time.
That's cool. That's cool.
Yeah. I super enjoyed it.
So I'll go on to the game that I bought this week.
Yes, I am super excited. I'm super excited for your trip to New Donk City.
New Donk City. I have not reached New Donk City whatsoever. No. And
Tell me about the moons. How many moons do you have?
Oh shit, I have fucking 50, 55 moons.
Okay.
There must be like so you need about 12 or 13. It's kind of a neat, interesting way to progress the story, I guess, because you can move on without fighting a boss by just collecting moons, which are like everywhere. And then you go into the map, and it's like there's 50 of them on every map, but it only takes like 13 before you move on. You can move on to another world. So Megan was having a really hard time trying to beat World 3 or whatever, and she's like, I can't beat this boss. And she was like, she got so frustrated trying to beat that boss, she quit, started a new save, and played the game over again up until that point. But at World 2, it kind of splits to where you can go to World 3 or World 4, and she had chosen World 4. So she played again, so that when she got to that decision, she went to World 3. And
so the skip kind of burned her.
Well, the other major flaw, and this is what we like to collect everything. Megan just kind of runs through and like, it's like, how do I get to the end as fast as possible?
Next level. Let's go.
So there's obvious, there's like we'd be walking along and I'd see a ledge over here and I'm like, oh, there's something up there. How do I get up there? And in my mind immediately is like trying to figure out how to get up onto these ledges and how to.
Right.
And she's just like, well, I don't know. I'm just like, the story's this way, so she just keeps going, right? So we're both playing it much differently, but it's a platformer. It's Mario. It's
You're
Mario.
butt slamming things, right?
You're butt slamming
throwing
things.
Cappy around.
Yeah.
You're...
That mechanic of it, like Cappy's cute as all ghetto, so it's kind of neat to be able to throw Cappy and like, you're in a water level, you throw Cappy, you turn into the cheap. You don't have to worry about breathing underwater now. Now you can just swim all over the place and stuff.
And you can be cheap for as long as you want.
Right.
There's no time limit.
Right.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
The only enemy I sort of seen that you're limited is the rockets that come out of the cannons, because they blow up after so long. But it's not, gets you to certain areas. So and the missiles don't go up and down. They stay on the same level, and so you can't necessarily get up to high. Like there's a World 1 is like this pyramid.
To get to like a secluded island or something like that.
Right.
How are the controls? How does this thing?
That is my biggest irritation with that fucking game.
Oh boy.
The controls are absolutely.
You don't have to waggle for anything, dude. It's not like Galaxy.
You don't have to waggle, but you can waggle.
Oh boy.
So if you spin the stick 360, Mario twirls, and if you twirl and throw the hat, he like it does like a 360 around Mario and like does like this attack that's like swirling, so it can clean out a big area. It's a little difficult to do, but if you just take the joystick and do this, the hat twirls around it. So it's easier to do if you waggle, but you don't unless you're doing that often. So now here's the other thing that's sort of a pain in the ass with it is that when you throw the hat, if you miss, like if you're aiming at a person and you miss it, because the fucking camera angles is like, you played Nintendo 60, like you played Mario 64, did you not?
Yes, of course.
So that one sort of suffered from the same problem with this. Is just like if you're not quite facing the right direction, you can often jump off a platform. You know what I mean? Because I'm facing. It kind of looks like you're facing 90 degrees, but you're actually facing 45. You jump. The fucking platform's only this long. You jump off to the right of it. You miss. And I'm doing that all the time.
But is the right stick control camera though?
Yes.
But you're still having that issue of kind of not seeing where you're.
Right, because it'll float above sometimes, and sometimes it'll be like there's parts of
just
it
some weird camera quirkiness is all it is.
Right.
Okay.
So and it having to be a platformer, it's there's some areas where there's just these short little platforms. You got to stick to the wall, and you got to jump up to these platforms. You jump up to these platforms, and you miss it.
I would imagine most of the time it's not an issue, but when there's like
precision,
repetitive precision stuff, that could be infuriating.
Right.
Yeah.
And if you miss it just because of those fucking controls, it's like, this is like, you know what I mean? Like I tried a couple, like there was this pyramid, this slant you had to run up, but you had to collect these rockets that help you run up this slant. Mm-hmm. But I just kept, as soon as I collect the things, you'd go into this fucking boost mode, and I'd fucking run off the thing because I didn't have the right angle. And it was so infuriating. It was getting me so mad. And I hate it. But so not only is that frustrating, but in order to, like, when you're trying to throw the hat at an accurate, like to hit something, and if you throw it past something to the left or the right, they added a feature where you just kind of like, you like shake the controller just once and it'll automatically redirect toward like a almost a homing missile. So like you fling it, and then you like and if you miss and you quickly react and shake the controller, it'll hit the closest object to the hat. So
Okay.
it'll
I
just
see.
divert
So
itself.
it's kind of like like an auto aim
Right.
almost. Okay.
So that makes it kind of cool. And then, like, not only that, but if you're like, if you're if you're on a platform and you're moving at a certain speed and you kind of want to just fling the hat and you just have less accuracy, like there was these objects where you're trying to collect these coins and it's off to the side, but you're on a platform that's moving, so you just kind of got to turn to the right, shoot the hat, and try to hit these coins. But because the platform's moving, you got to move the camera, and you know what I mean. Like it's a lot of motion.
Right.
Like 9 times out of 10, I was missing, but I just kind of shook the hat and it would collect the coins. Do you know what I mean?
Nice.
So they obviously know that it's
harder to do.
It's harder to do, be accurate all the time, but they know that there are a lot of people out there that are
a good fix. That sounds like a good, like a decent fix. Yeah.
So it works great when you're attacking with Cappy, but it doesn't. It still suffer when you're trying to jump from platform to platform. So as that stuff gets really difficult, it gets really infuriating because the camera angles. But we're talking about Adam. We're just talking about Super Mario Odyssey. I was just talking about how obviously reviews say that this is the greatest Mario game ever created, because every time they make a Mario game, everyone's like, this is the greatest Mario game. But to me it's good. It's a good Mario game. It's new. There's some cute, there's some neat, but it's not. Maybe it's just my mentality that I've been burned by Nintendo so many times.
Damn, Adam, that's going way back.
Yeah. I really think I enjoyed 3D World on the Wii U more than I enjoy this. And then, because I felt like the platforming on 3D World was just so fucking solid that it made it much more enjoyable. You know what I mean? Like when you try to razzmatazz it too much, it just kind of makes it, I don't know, it kills it for me.
How are you playing? Are you playing on TV or are you playing like handheld?
I'm playing on TV.
Okay.
And Megan has kind of played it on both. She loves it. That's where I kind of feel like when I watch her play, she's over the moon playing it. But for me, it's like I've played this before. I've played Mario 64. I've played, you know what I mean? So Mario Odyssey, I mean, it looks great. It's got a bunch of neat new features. There's tons of moments that make me laugh my ass off. There's tons of throwbacks to classic stuff. That's great. It's just another Mario game that just, they haven't released a Mario game in 4 years. So, great. I finally got another Mario game.
Wow, has it been 4 years? Jeez. I guess so. Yeah.
I'm not 100. I'm spearheading it, but I think it's roughly around that. So, don't quote me on 4 years for sure. But anyways,
I'm fucking calling you out on that.
It's long. It's well now I want to.
It's been a while. It's been a while. Yes.
Mario. Yes. Was 3D World the last one? I want to say a 3D World.
I like the Mario Rabbids game. There you go. Yeah.
Mario 3D World 2013. 4 years. November 21st, 2013.
Holy
so it was almost 4 years.
Almost 4 years exactly.
See,
wow.
Just don't even think about it. Just fucking fire it off.
Just fucking throw it out. Don't worry. Never fact check.
Never fact check. Just fucking top of your mind. Mario and Rabbids is a decent game.
Obviously a different game.
Yeah.
But it's a great. Yeah, it's a good game.
So
absolutely.
I think it's very open worldish too. And there's tons of collectibles. So I think that part attracts me more to this game than the actual.
Yeah.
Because it's like you see these puzzles and you're like, how do I get up to these? Like you see the actual
love
moons.
That stuff.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
And there's so many of them.
I like how they gated the stuff where it seems fairly easy to kind of get to the next area. Like only needing 13 moons and there's 50 on the map. It's like, okay, the odds are you're going to get 13 before you want to move to the next map. Like that seems
it's easy to get. Like you see the 13, like there's like these like 13 little circles, and you're like, fuck, that's so many.
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
it really like they pop like it's going out of style. So I'm surprised that they never did a Mario MMO style game.
Uh, they'd never. What would you do? Collect. You would go to the guy and be like, collect me 10, 10 stars, and I'll give you 6 XP.
Well, I would say that I'm surprised they haven't done a Pokemon. I mean, that's not Pokemon is not Nintendo's necessarily their property, but Pokemon to me seems like it's, is well, honestly, like that is more styled toward an MMO styled game than like Mario. I would even say Zelda is probably more
I could see
MMO.
Zelda
Yeah,
easily, right?
Zelda MMO for
I
sure.
guess.
Mario, for me, Mario is platforming, and I love platforming. So it's kind of like, um, and I think a lot of other people do. But I've been asking. Like, I went to a couple streams and the people playing, and I said, "What do you think?" And they're like, "Ah, greatest Mario game ever!" And like, um, the guy who
Man.
does the Nintendo reviews for yeah, I like that's why I like
Well played,
when you
Adam.
play
Well played.
with good people, not jerks. I was gonna say, the guy who does reviews for Gamer Rant, he said something like Super Mario is greater than Mario 64, which is greater, and he's just saying Mario Odyssey is the greatest Nintendo Mario game ever created, and I'm just like,
Bold statement.
I guess it's the greatest now that it's out, but I just like I'm not having. It's a good game, but I don't by many means I don't think I love it. But
Yeah.
is it because I'm Nintendo?
I feel like I mean, if I'm being honest, I feel like I have moved away from like the super platformers. Like I didn't even really dig 3D World on the Wii U. Like I was like, okay, I don't want. I just find it tedious now. I'm like, I don't want to do any of this shit. And the last one I really enjoyed was Galaxy because everything just was so new and weird that it was kind of fun. But after that, I was like, nah, it's like playing the different versions that they would have on the DS and the 3DS and the Wii U, and I was like, I don't want to do any of this shit anymore. And that maybe that's I'm just getting old and I'm shittier at games, but like I was just like, I don't want it. This isn't bringing back. Like I don't have any more kind of nostalgia for it. You know what I mean? Like it's not like, oh shit, there's another Mario game, so good. It's kind of like, oh, I gotta go collect a gazillion of these fucking things, and I'm like, ah. But like I said, having 13, only needing 13 to move on, I think that's awesome. I think that might actually appeal to me because then it's like I don't have to worry about getting every single little one, even though occasionally, like when I see them, and you can kind of in your mind see the puzzle of like, okay, I got to get on this, then I got to shoot over here, and then you kind of see that in your head. It's like, okay, that's kind of fun. I just don't. I don't know.
God,
A new Contra would be fucking awesome. Contra Mario.
Mario. Oh, fuck. It's funny that you mentioned playing games with your buddies, Pig, because I think over the last year, Zorbsy and I have gotten together a couple times to play couch co-op stuff, and
Yeah.
and it's been like, I feel the same way. Like I feel like I miss the couch co-op more than anything, and
Yep.
there's not a lot of couch co-op that sort of exists nowadays. But it's like we can play the shittiest game couch co-op and have more of a good time than yeah.
Yeah, but we've been doing a lot of Enter the Gungeon. And we're not great at it. Like we still haven't finished it. We're still getting our asses whooped. But it's really fun to just play that game, couch co-op, just kind of having a drink and just having some laughs. Like it's really fun to just sit and have like a games night on that. That's really good. And before that, we did a Hyperlight Drifter,
Yeah.
which was fucking amazing.
Yeah. Good.
Oh
Jerk.
man, the big bazooka! Yes,
What was that game? That was like
that was
Super Shooter 6 or Super Bazooka 6 or man,
maybe hockey. Maybe hockey.
I'm pretty good at hockey. I played some of that tonight too.
It's a Canadian thing. Speaking of hockey, it went on sale again.
$40?
Yeah. Still not getting it.
Dude, you know what? I almost want to say that it
Did it
It's
tank
not-
this year? Like what happened? Because it never, like at least in Canada, it never goes down in price. Like in Canada, the NHL hockey is kind of like Call of Duty everywhere, where it never goes down in price until just before the next game comes out. Then it'll drop in price. But this seems really out of character for the
I
NHL
feel
game.
like it always drops at least sometime after Christmas in the new year.
Yeah,
Once,
yeah.
and then it goes back up to the full price until it releases on EA Access.
Blades of Steel.
See, Adam, that's just because you're old as fuck.
Blades of Steel.
Super Scope 6. There we go. I knew it was something. Super Rocket 6. Yes. Super Scope 6.
You didn't even have to fact check that,
See?
Wildor. You
See
did it
what
right
I
off
mean?
the
No
bat.
fact checking.
Come
I
on.
just right off the top of my head. It's just like there's some rust built in around here. It's just like
Just knock it loose.
it's
Just knock it
something
loose.
Super Bazooka 6.
Bazooka 6.
Actually, you know what? It's every Super
They would
Nintendo
never
game.
call it Super Bazooka 6.
You know what I hate about Super Nintendo is that there were so many games that came out with Super. Like when you download ROMs to back up your cartridges, you know what I mean? It's just like you have this huge list of super Super Ren and Stimpy. Oh man, Ren and Stimpy.
Oh, Ren and Stimpy's so good. I want to be 10 again. Yeah, you know.
What would it be like to be 10 again in this age of video games? Like I like looking at my daughter play games just to see
Yes.
what, like, you know what I mean? Like we're talking about Mario Odyssey and she's fucking like she can't stop playing it, and she's like she brought the Switch to bed to play it before bedtime, and you know what I mean? And I was like, what a world to live in now. Like, what would it be like this is what games are the base are for you. You know what I mean? Like we can go back and look at the shit we played, or even, and if you're even older like Adam and you're just playing like dots and bleeps and bloops, just to think of how far we've gone to see, you know, now Adam sits around and farms all day on
Yeah, Love Bong US. Yeah, you know what? It's funny. The kids, my kids played Mario a bit on the Wii, but they have been playing so much like Goat Simulator, and they're still Minecraft kids. Like they still play Minecraft all the time. And the little one who's 5 is starting to like build proper things where she's like, "Hey, Dad, check this out," and she's made like a horse, like a gigantic kind of like horse statue thing. And it's got patterns on its back that she's kind of designed, and it's kind of amazing. Like wow, kind of figured this all out. This is kind of bananas. And yeah, like they play Goat Simulator, and it's bananas like that broken ass game, and they love it. They just can't stop playing it.
You know that we put a bunch of hours into Ghost Simulator 2, and it just melts my brains. Like I don't like there was
The music, the sounds, everything about it is just like I hate this so much.
Yeah.
They love it. They fucking love it. And I have now bought all of the expansions for it.
Jesus.
Too. Well, because they were all on sale, right? So it was like, well, the MMO thing was like $1.75. I'm like, well, whatever. I'll just buy it. And sure enough, like Mimi loves that. She's like, oh, look at this, Dad. My Goat's got a sword now, and oh, look at that. She just loves it.
So I had the MMO one on PC, and Meg didn't really play that one so much. But what was the one after? There was something else after that one.
They dug the Payday one. They really liked Payday. Although I'm like, you guys don't know what this game is, what this expansion is based off of, but okay, whatever. So there was a payday one,
Twisted
there's a
Metal was good.
zombie one, there's a space one, and I think that's it. At least on the Xbox. I think it's 4.
Yeah, they started charging for those extra ones.
Yeah.
Bank statement. Call from the bank. Sure, it's all that. Go to
Are you okay, sir?
the Twisted Metal. That was a good classic. I never had a PlayStation. I never had a PlayStation, but there was a couple friends that I played Dungeons and Dragons with. They had PlayStations, and oftentimes we'd go over and we play Twisted Metal. I love playing that. That was a good split screen game too, if I remember correctly.
I never played Twisted Metal. I played Interstate 76 on the PC, which I'm not sure came out at the same time. Maybe that came out a little later. But I really loved Interstate 76.
Ooh, Sega. Yeah, I was gonna say I think I'm with Tasty. I think Nintendo 64 was my go-to console. I think I played a lot of Nintendo, a lot of Super Nintendo, but I think Nintendo 64 was like the ultimate team. And I think it was more because I had a job at that time. So I could like, I was just kind of renting games and just kind of getting a smattering of games. Whereas
Mm-hmm.
when my Nintendo 64 came out, I just, I was out of school and I had more time. You know what I mean? Like I really I started finishing games more and stuff like that. I don't know.
We had a 64 at the college I was at, and we just played that instead of going to class.
Oh shit!
Huge Royal Rumbles with was it NWO versus WCW? But, that was the game. That, and of course GoldenEye. Yeah.
I had a roommate that we played Mario Kart on the 64, and I just he worked midnights and slept during the day.
Oh
So
boy.
I'd come back from work, and he had gone for work, and he'd leave a post-it note. He's just like, Rainbow Road, bitch. And I go, and sure enough, so we just kept going back and forth. Where just I'd set a time trial on like such a track, and then he would beat it overnight, and I would just come. You know what I mean? I didn't actually get to see him, but I would have his name.
I think that's actually too stressful. I don't know what I would do. I think that just kind of like, I can't do this.
I think that's what brings out the actual, when we play games and you get higher scores, it just reminds me of those moments where it's just I would fucking play Rainbow Road over and over again because I had to leave a post-it note to say, you fucking dickbag, and if he couldn't beat Rainbow Road, he would switch to another, you know what I mean? There was so many tracks he would switch to, but
he would. Yeah.
we would consistently be switching tracks and trying to set better times on it. Rainbow Road. Mario Kart 64.
There you
Mario
go.
Kart 64. Yeah. So Victor Vran, Mario.
I won't talk about the other two games I played because that kind of goes into the news.
Oh, the backwards compatibility.
Yeah.
Xbox One backwards compatibility. So
yes.
I haven't touched this at all. I never owned an Xbox the original. I don't think I ever played any Xbox original games. Maybe I played Halo 2.
Okay, there you go. That's a good one to play from the original, yeah.
But I didn't. I never played the first Fable. I only played.
I think it's available on Steam if you really wanted to play it, but I think it didn't age well, to be honest with you.
I think the second one was the first one.
You
blueberry.
I was a big fan of the original Xbox. I have probably close to 200 games still. I never traded them in, so I have a huge library of them. I have almost all of the ones that came to backwards compatibility here. We'll just do the quick list. There's 13 of them, so. Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic, Ninja Gaiden Black, Crimson Skies, Fusion Frenzy, Prince of Persia: Sands of Time, Psychonauts, Dead to Rights, Black, Grabbed by the Ghoulies, Sid Meier's Pirates, Red Faction 2, Blood Rain 2, and The King of Fighters, Neo Wave. And so I went into my stash, picked up. This is from the original Xbox. I found my copy of Black, threw it into my Xbox One, and sure enough, it said, "Hey, install this," and it totally installed the game. And
that's fucking crazy.
You know, it even has just like the 360 backwards compatibility. It has the startup for the Xbox. So the black screen with the green X that breaks out of it, it totally has that. I was like, oh shit, this is it, man. And now Black was a 4x3 game, so it kind of kept that aspect ratio. But what's really crazy is that it's playing in 1080p, and on the Xbox One X, all those games will play at 4K as well.
What?
Yeah. So it's pretty impressive. Things like Ninja Gaiden Black, which was a 16:9 game when it first released on Xbox, the original Xbox, will be, 16:9 1080p on the Xbox S, and it'll be 4K on the Xbox One X when it comes out. Which is bananas. Like, it's so crazy. Like, the text is all clear and crisp, and it's it kind of what I find really funny is that when you're playing these older games, you realize that they were designed for lower resolution monitors and TVs, because everything is huge. I think we've gotten so used to having little tight type for our HUDs and whatever, and Black has got this just enormous, like, this is this giant block of text for your health, and this is another giant block of text for your how many bullets you have, and it's just like everything is enormous because you had a 27-inch TV, and that was a really big TV back then, and you were sitting far away from it, so I think everything had to be really big, right? So yeah, it's really fun, but like that it kind of holds up. I was playing Black. I played through the first 4 levels. I was like, okay. I mean, things look really sharp. Some textures look muddy because the texture was the texture. But things look really clean and sharp. Like, as far as like geometry goes. So yeah, it was enjoyable. I'm probably gonna find more of my games and throw them in. So Grabbed by the Ghoulies is a weird one because that was in the Rare collection.
Okay.
But yeah, like I had the Star Wars game in my hands. Like, I should throw this one in, but I put in like 100-something hours into that game. I was like, I don't want to get sucked back into that. That's it's like, I just want to see if this thing works. So I'll throw in Black because I can just.
Actually, that game I played on PC, and I never finished it because, much like Mass Effect, I was like, this is way too slow. Like, I don't want to spend my time walking from this point to this point. And just
I fucking love that game so much, man. I leveled my characters up like crazy. It was awesome.
Oh, they built the back off of some poor people. That game, that was crazy. But with giving like backwards compatibility, like, I'm still kind of blown away by that this exists.
Yes,
I'm
and so they've also all these games you can buy now. The weird thing is you have to buy them on your 360. You can't buy them on the Xbox One. But they're all like $10. Whatever. But you can buy them. But if you have the disc, you just put the disc in, and it works, which is, again, pretty amazing.
Yeah,
Yeah, I really thought they were going to do the backwards compatibility thing and just kind of be like, hey, we got this backwards compatibility, and then just never really update the list. But they seem to be updating it Like we get a few titles every other week. There's usually like 3 or 4 titles that they're adding. It's pretty impressive.
Yeah, my digital list keeps at like my games keep adding because I bought so much
Yes.
digital stuff for 360.
Yeah.
It just
Yeah.
seems like they update it and stuff just keeps getting added but I mean, I don't have any Xbox One, but I'm like I think I was blown away that they did backwards compatibility with 360, but I'm even more fucking blown away that they would invest. Like 360 must have been so fucking profitable for them that they would like even consider
Yeah.
Xbox One games, or the fact that this was their roadmap all along. Like it's just like Xbox Ones are a fucking target because uh, we have this retro market where everyone lives for nostalgia. So why not fucking really dive deep into that stuff? And I feel like it's all positive. Like everyone's super stoked about it.
Yeah. Yeah. And like Adam's right, 360 still being sold. I still feel like the original Xbox wasn't it wasn't a huge success. Not a lot of people played these games, so this is a kind of really cool way for people that had never played it, or that people that are very nostalgic. Like for me, I'm quite nostalgic about playing these games, so I would play them again. Um, so yeah, when did the Xbox One come out? 2013, 2013, I think.
2013
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
360 came out in 05. Yep. Yep.
Yeah, about 8 years. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I think that's really awesome that they're doing this. I'm assuming that this list will get larger and larger, but for now, this is kind of what they're starting with. It would be really amazing if this list got long enough that they started adding these games to the Games for Gold monthly games. That would be really something else. So yeah, I think it's a great step forward. It's we'll see kind of how they add to this, because it seems like it's not as easy as the 360 stuff, but and I think like Adam said,
those has licenses, right? That stuff
developers
has
have to approve it as well. Some of the old games, like with like they have music licenses in it. Like you're never gonna see like a like a
Tony Hawk.
like a Tony Hawk, or PGR's got a bunch of licensed music in it too, and it's like you would have to like renegotiate those licenses. I'm assuming because it's like a different platform, right?
Right.
So I don't know. Like yeah, some games will be difficult to impossible because of licensing, but other games, like.
Well, I mean,
Jade Empire, I wouldn't mind playing that again. Why not?
They like Tony Hawk. They remastered Tony Hawk, right? The first Tony Hawk game, and then they they added DLC to the original Tony Hawk that gave you Tony Hawk 2 and 3. However, they did it's just that they relicensed that music, really re-released the game, and the music licenses for that remake expired. So they had to pull that game off the store. So you can't even.
That happened with Forza Horizon 1. I think can't be sold anymore.
That would make sense.
Because same thing. Like there was licensed music on it, and which is probably why the Forza Motorsports game since I think 5 has had just like Muzak. Like it's just kind of like, did you guys find this like on a royalty-free disc? Like what's going on? Like the music is just kind of like, ugh.
Yeah,
this year's been kind of okay, and it kind of it's there's no vocals or anything, but it's like you're absolutely right. It's totally like non-copyrighted music where you're like, that sounds like this song, but there's no words to it, and there's a couple beats that are a little off, but it's like, I'm pretty sure. So it's it's like some garage band just kind of putting the background notes together. But that's probably because they can say, hey, in 10 years we can still sell this game and not worry about some crazy licensing fee. And speaking of Forza, we'll move on to the next game. I've been playing a lot more of that because they released a patch that fixed fixes the VIP issue. When the game first came out, they sold VIP, and basically, in previous games, VIP was a coin doubler. So at the end of every race, you would get double the payout if you were VIP. In Forza 7, they changed that and made it a consumable item, so you could get double payout for 25 races, and that's it. Or no, sorry. Oh yeah, it was 25 races, and that was it. And people, rightfully so, were super pissed about it and complained. And in Turn 10's defense, I guess they heard it and said, "All right, we'll fix it." So they gave all the VIP guys a bunch of cars. They gave them 1 million credits in game, and then they said, "Hey, we'll patch in the VIP proper doubler." So they did, and no, the VIP wasn't from pre-orders. It's if you buy the deluxe version of the game or the ultimate version of the game, it comes with VIP. Or you can, I think it's like $20 extra to buy VIP if you bought the regular version of the game, which I don't think is really worth it, even with the thing fixed now. And they seem to be a lot better about giving VIP members like extra cars. Like I think I've already received like 2 extra cars from them since the game came out. So, well, if they can keep that up, that'll be great. So yeah, I played a bunch of that. I'll leave it at that.
You know, yeah.
Extra cars for a driving game is, I mean, you know, this is what you want. This is what you want. So
it's funny because I don't feel like extra cars in Forza actually really meant much to me. But when we would play multiplayer races and stuff like that, and you guys would be pulling out all like let's do this race with this, and I didn't have a car, and I'd be like, God damn it.
Yeah.
You know what
or
I mean?
like you would be like, let's do this B class race, and you're like, well, I only have this one B class car, so it doesn't matter what we're racing. I was like, this is the B class car I have. Like, all right. Yeah. There's still no auction house. Forzathon hasn't started yet, but the Forzathon on Tuesday will be the last Forzathon for Forza Horizon 3. So I'm assuming after that, in November, they'll probably start Forzathon for Forza 7. And there's no marketplace yet. But I think the marketplace is different than the auction house. I think the marketplace is like cars you buy with real money, like car packs. And because we haven't received a car pack yet, that's not available yet either. So we're still waiting for auction house and Forzathon in Forza 7.
So Adam throws out that question: where is Forza 7 worth it? I think we've talked about this a couple times, but is Forza 7 better than Horizon 3? And I personally, like, I haven't played Forza 7, but I think they're 2 different games. I think they're like, I think Horizon is a different game. Like, they're both racing games, and they're both based off the same engine, and they both have, you know what I mean? Like, they both have Forza in it or whatever, and they both have beautiful cars, and they both have beautiful sunsets, and you know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of, you would think, I still think they're extremely different games. Like, Forza Horizon is like, yes, it is cross-platform.
Yes, it is. So is Horizon 3.
Right.
They both play. They're both cross-play on PC and on Xbox. I think Forza Horizon 3 is a really fun game. I've had it because it's just kind of stupid fun of like, hey, let's take this Lamborghini and drive it around on the beach, or you know, jump it through sand dunes and stuff like that. Like it's just bananas, and the best kind of bananas. Whereas Forza 7 is more like, we're racing, and we're gonna do racing things, like, you know, this F1 car on Spa. Like, we're doing fucking races, and so it really depends on like what kind of racing do you want to do. Do you want to do like cross country, like over like crazy terrain? Then Horizon 3 is your game. If you want to do kind of closer to simulation stuff of like do like proper races with only on laps. There's no like point to point stuff. There's a career on both. Yeah. So yeah. So like Goldor said, they're different games. I really love car games. I really love racing games. So I love them both. But yeah, so for me, it's like it depends on what you want to do.
Yeah, for me, it's Forza Horizon. Forza Horizon 3 is like they still have like I always found that I couldn't play the Forza games against bots. Like it just like even with when they added drivatards, I thought okay, this is a little bit better, but I still found
They were still bots. Like
yeah, there's still bots. They still did. They
did what? Yeah, say it again, Goldor.
drivatards. And you know what? I don't honestly believe. Yeah,
nailed it.
Nailed it. So the premise behind
drivatar.
Yeah, the premise behind drivatars is that when you play, you know how when you play Forza Horizon 3, you have. I'm pretty sure you have Horizon 3, don't you, Adam? I feel like I've seen you don't. I thought I felt I saw you play it, but when you play. When you race, it takes your friends on your friends list and other friends. Basically, after you've raced about 10 or 15 races, it sort of analyzes how you race, and it makes an online profile for how you race, and it uploads it to the cloud. But it then, when like let's say you race, and because I'm on your friends list, unless maybe you don't have me on your friends list anymore, but it'll download my profile and put it into your game. Yeah, but you have a PC, so you would still, if you played it on PC, the premise still exists.
Still works.
Still works. It would download my drivatar into your game, and it would sort of race like I race.
Yeah.
And so you essentially try to be racing against me, my ghost, but it's not my ghost. It's their interpretation of my ghost. So it's kind of, like
it's an interesting concept. Like if you're racing Laguna Seca and you on the corkscrew, like I often will cut the corkscrew so I don't actually follow the corkscrew down. I actually kind of go over the edge and go into the dirt a little bit to kind of get advantage of that. So you cheat. Yes, essentially. Yes. Yes. So when my friends see my drivatar in their game and they're on a Laguna Seca, my drivatar should be doing that cut. It won't be driving like the other cars. Like it's not like the AI will always go on this set path. My AI will actually try to cut that turn. Now, when I play the game, I'll always make that. Well, not always make that turn, but usually I make that turn. But the AI sometimes, because it's not on the road, it'll fuck up sometimes and it'll like spin out in the dirt because it's trying to do a shortcut that I always do. So on certain tracks where there's dividers on the side, you can tell the players that cheat a lot, that cut the corners a lot, because those are the drivatars that hit those dividers because because the player is always cutting that corner. So if there's crap, I can't remember. I think it's Silverstone. There's a chicane there that has like dividers on either side, and people will try to cut through the chicane going straight as opposed to kind of taking a little bit of the turn, and you will see drivatars like smash into the walls and then just try to keep going through the walls. Like they're a little stupid sometimes. So yes, you will see that. So it's different. It's not like not every one of the 24 cars is crashing into these walls. It's only a select few of these cars. So yes, Canadian drivers are always crashing into. We're very polite about it though. It's a pretty neat feature. It's a pretty neat feature.
So in Forza 7, you know, my thought about going back to race these same tracks that, you know, like I'm at that level with Forza that I was with hockey, where it's like I think I bought 15 because it was the first one that was
On
on
the new console,
Xbox.
yeah,
But
yeah.
I was like, I'm done with this game because it just you're giving me the same game over and over and over and over again, and it just seems like they like as much as Forza 7 is is you know there's new weather like they've updated stuff, but it's more of the same tracks, more of the same cars, more of the same, you know, and there's a place for that for you know like for Zorbs he gets
Yeah.
he gets enough, and for me it's just like I you know unless there's a dedicated group of us getting together to play that, then I don't want any part of it because I don't want to play the single player.
Yeah, it's getting to the point where the cars are kind of like because they it's not a yearly franchise, but it kind of feels like it is because there's Horizon that comes out on the off year, and then the year after that it's Motorsport, and because they're so close, you look at the car list and you're like, well, all of these cars, most of these cars are from the last game, and some of them are from Horizon 3, but there's nothing really that's not on either of those lists. You know what I mean? Like it's not like a lot of brand new cars where it's like, okay, this was on the DLC from Forza 3 and now it's in the base game of Forza 7. It's just like, well, it's like so yeah, it's stick with one part of the franchise to keep it somewhat fresh. Yeah, that's not a bad idea because then you're getting a game every 2 years and it'll feel like a bigger jump.
Well,
So yeah,
and that's where I find that Horizon sort of scratches that itch for me because it provides me a little bit of craziness that you know it's always different. Like you know what I mean?
yeah.
Like it's always new map. It's always a new like driving off roads. You know what I mean? And the map is so big. You know, I don't necessarily remember these courses every time I race them. Do you
Yes.
know what I
It's
mean?
not a named like, oh, we're on Suzuka. I know exactly how this course is laid out.
Right.
It's kind of like, downhill number 7. You're like, it could be anything. I don't know what's happening here
Right.
because there's so many variations to the same type of race in Horizon 3.
Yeah.
I still stream Horizon 3 on Fridays and I still have a blast playing it. Um, like it's still a really fun game. Uh, I would say it goes on sale a lot, Adam. So I would wait. It'll probably be on sale for Black Friday. Almost guaranteed it'll be on sale for Black Friday. So if you're looking into it, it'll probably be super cheap on Black Friday
And yeah,
or
I still
around Christmas time.
even though the game's been out over a year, I still think there's a lot of value in like you know what I mean. Like, it's a good gem. Like I still think there's a lot of people playing Horizon. You might get a console for playing.
There you go.
There
There
you
you
go.
go.
Yeah, those S's will be super cheap, 220 maybe
I'm
American.
sure the S's will be on super sales and stuff.
Yeah. So let's go on to
Paperweight.
uh, do we want to talk about Reset Era opening up?
Yeah, well, I mean, we could just briefly talk about that. That in the wake of all the shit that went
NeoGAF.
down at NeoGAF, there was about 13,000 people that got up and left to go to a new site started by former NeoGAF members called Reset Era. It's essentially the same thing. Like, it's just another forum. But it's kind of like, as a former member of GAF, it's kind of nice. It what I find crazy is the same threads that I was going to on NeoGAF showed up at Reset Era, and it's the same people in there going, "Whew, you made it over here. That's awesome, man. Great stuff." So I guess this is our new home now, is it? And it's like, yeah, I guess so. So
Now that you mentioned it, I signed up for it and I was like, and just talking about it, it was just like, I went on the forum and I'm like, fuck, this is just a forum. Like, I hate
It
forums. I
it
fucking
totally is.
hate
It
forums.
totally is. And yet there's still the type of people that kind of like that, right? Like they
Right.
so
But
obviously it's 13,000 people and 100,000 threads or posts rather in like 36 hours or something like that. Like, it's pretty impressive. It's so obviously uh, there's a need there.
well, I remember signing up for NeoGAF, and I can't remember. I want to say I never got in. Like they never approved my account or for whatever
Wow.
reasons, and I was just like, you know what? I hate forums. I'm not going to sign up for this. So I went through the process of signing up for Reset Era, and they're like, okay, we need to approve your account, blah blah blah, and it's just like, oh fuck, this is why I didn't sign up.
Yeah,
So
I think
just
they're a little
mentioning
bit
it,
more lenient about it though.
I just decided to check my email because, uh,
Check your spam folder.
well, that's what I did. I just checked and I
Okay.
noticed I just got approved.
Reset Era is
At
the
10
site.
o'clock,
Yes, it is.
about an hour ago, I am now a
Boom.
member of Reset Era.
Go to the Forza 7 thread.
Yeah. Reset.
Forza 7 thread. There's a Toronto thread that's really cool. There's a Canada deals thread that's good, and I always go to the 2017 console screenshot thread. That's always awesome because it's just fun looking at console screenshots, like people taking really fucking cool shots of Assassin's Creed and Drive Club and all sorts of console games. They have a PC thread one too, but that one's always crazy because it's like, I took this picture at like 8K and then I downsized. Like, come on, dude, man. Like, it's just people showing off showing off
How their rigs.
their PC pinga.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's good to see that something arrived out of it, and see how it goes.
Yeah. And then when Gaff came back, it was a shit show. It was a bunch of people like just shit posting constantly, like ban me, and saying all sorts of like just fuck shit so that they could get banned and never come back again. That stuff has kind of calmed down, but to be honest, I haven't been back since I've loaded up Reset Era and done that. So yeah,
That's good. At least I mean, it's a place for people to congregate. It just makes it doesn't seem to be too advertising heavy and stuff like that. So
yeah.
I mean, they're gonna have to pay for that.
At some
that
point,
load.
yeah. I don't think there's no ads on it now, but at some point, I'm sure there will be.
Yeah. So we never got onto the topic of Visceral Games being shut down. I think
I think it shut it down the day after the podcast last week. I think that happened on Monday.
Yeah.
Or Tuesday or something like that. Like I think it happened No, it was Tuesday. I think it happened on Tuesday.
You seriously dodged a bullet because we were talking about canceling pre-orders for Battlefront 2, and it's just like now.
Yes.
I don't think there's been an official announcement on the single player, but it looks like the rumor's gone. Yeah.
Yeah.
They've totally getting rid of Visceral Games totally meant that they got rid of the single player from Battlefront 2.
So I heard a story where Amy Heading, who was at Naughty Dog doing the Uncharted games, heading up the Uncharted games, moved over to Visceral to work on the Star Wars games, and she would have a big meeting to kind of show these are the themes that we're going to touch on, and this is kind of the story we want to tell and things like that. And some head of whatever at EA was like, FIFA HUD gives us $1 billion a year. What is this going to do? It's like, oh man. And like that's where their head's at, It's like these card game things that they've added into the sports games are fucking gigantic money makers, right? And they have shareholders. They want to know where this money is, and they've been working on this for how long, right? So like what's the return on all this money they're dumping into this Star Wars game? And it's a Star Wars game. It's going to sell, but is it going to sell that much that it's going to cover? Because they said it would. They were shooting for a release of the fiscal year of 2019, which could be a 2020 game, which is a long way away.
Right.
That's a huge development cycle, and you're never going to make that back on just a single player game.
No.
And so there's rumors that the guys that built Plants vs Zombies 2, like the shooter, are taking over this Star Wars game.
That's ridiculous.
So yeah, it's kind of heartbreaking because like Star Wars 1313 got canceled from LucasArts, and that looked like a game that could have been something really cool too. You kind of playing like as a bounty hunter. That got shit canned when Disney bought LucasArts, and then this Amy Hedden thing was looking to be like, hey man, like the person in charge of Uncharted is making a Star Wars game. Like this is gonna be fucking amazing, and now that's dead too. And I think it all comes down to the dollars. Like you can't make a big AAA game and just keep it single player.
It's totally money with EA.
Yeah, especially with EA.
But I mean, at some point, these like, do you feel bad? Do you feel bad for the studio that gets shut down by EA when they agreed to be sold to EA? Like, how many times has a company been sold to EA and they thought, they're like, they're not going to change us. They're not going to change us. And it's just like, tell me when BioWare gets fucking, you know what I mean? When BioWare gets shut down, it's just going to be like
Bullfrog. Nothing happened. Oh no, wait, Bullfrog's dead.
So there was this great video that somebody put together where it's that last scene from Rogue One, where Darth Vader's kind of coming through the things and everyone they're passing off the hard drive to spoilers.
Yeah.
But someone dubbed they put EA's logo on over Darth Vader, and they put all the studios as Darth Vader was fucking slicing down all these fucking people in the fucking thing. It was all the studios that EA has fucking shut down. It's like so Westwood Studios, fucking
Origin.
Yeah, and it's just like slice, and it's visceral and it's visceral games that's running down the hallway trying to be saved, like save this hard drive, be saved, save this.
So good.
And I was just like, oh fuck, that's so good. So, at what point do these studios realize they don't like EA Studios is a sports company. Like EA Sports is a sports company.
It's so true. I mean, FIFA and Madden makes them tons of money. The card stuff that they added, as much as I hate it, is making the money. They're never gonna stop doing it. Like this Hut stuff is making them so much cash. Like they don't care.
Today, I played Hut. I played Hut mode in NHL 18.
Yes.
And I was like, okay, I've got my cards. I'll go online. I'll play people, and they're really good at matching you with people that have the same experience level as you. So these guys, they were matching me up with, had no online experience, like none whatsoever.
You don't want to get some guy that's like, has won 60 games already, and you're like, great.
Right. However, the two people that they matched me with had spent a shit ton of money on the fucking game and had all NHL players, and just were fucking like, I was out playing them, but they would like skate up and like knock the puck away from me, and I couldn't like. I would like fucking be blocking shots, I'd be ducking, I'd get breakaways. I was outplaying them fucking 900%, but I could not, for the life of me, fucking get up.
Because they had a better deck than you.
The guys skate faster than me. Their goalie was better. They had like all, like, you know what I mean?
That's
like,
infuriating. I would never ever play that again.
Yeah, I played 2 games,
so bad.
and I was just like, the second game I was like, I can't. I just want to score a goal. Like the first game I got shut out 5-0. And the second game I was just like, I just want to score a goal. And I scored 1 goal, and it's like, all right, I can die happy.
Fuck this and everything it stands for.
Yeah, it was just like, I don't want to play this. And originally what had moved me over to Hut was just like, hey, you're a loyal hockey player. We're going to give you an extra pack of cards because you played 15, because you played 16.
Loyalty card. Yeah. They played you.
Right, totally. And I got a gold card from each one. But it's just like, I'm like, all right, but I don't even have a full team of NHL players, and I just got demolished. It's just like,
Yeah, that
I'm
does
like,
not sound
this
like
is
fun.
not fun at all. Like, there's no incentive to play. And you know what? I feel like either there's too much people that are investing money into Hut, or
Hmm.
there's not a lot of people playing hockey anymore.
Well, yeah. The price discounts that we've seen might be the second thing, not the first thing. But yeah, you're right.
Well, I mean, it doesn't make sense. I still have a hard time. Um, I have a hard time with microtransactions when you charge me a full price for a game or $79.99 for a game, and then like if EA is gonna make most of their money off of Hut, then sell the fucking game cheaper.
Yes, I agree. I agree.
Give us. I'm playing the single game. You're gonna make your money off the other game. At least give me the game for $30.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And if you drop it for $30, maybe I'll invest the other $30 in the Hut. Maybe I won't.
Yeah.
But at least fucking entice more players to that game so that they fucking you're. It's a bad model. Like, you don't sell me $79.99 and then sell me fucking cards for $5 a pack. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
give
It's
me the game for
gross.
free.
It's gross. It's like they're totally taking advantage of us, like that's the thing. Like when I get a game that's cheaper, I often feel like I feel okay spending more money. Like we've talked about this many times. You've made fun of me for Elite Dangerous, but I got Elite Dangerous for $30. So putting a couple bucks in to get a stupid skin for a game that I really
No,
love,
I agree. I agree.
right? Like it's like okay, whatever. But if I had paid $80 for this game, and then it's like, oh hey, the ship skin costs $5. Like fuck you, like get the fuck out of here. I've already put in all this money. Like it's just it's a color cycle. Just give me another color, guys. Like come on. So yeah, but full price games and that kind of stuff. I it bothers me when I see games um that you spend real full price a game, like a $79 game, at least in Canada. And if you go to the store page, there's like a $99 option for like a points card thing that you can. It's like, guys, what the fuck? Like this should never be an option. Like ridiculous. Although I saw the worst one was on Path of Exile, $4.99.
$499.
Best value. It's like some ridiculous thing it's all sorts of like visual gear and just fucking nonsense. Like I don't know why you would ever spend that much fucking money, but
Clash Royale had a special the other day, the same day that everything came out on the 27th. And it's like, buy this super magical chest with 100,000 gems and with this, that. It was $59.99. I was just like, okay, buy a AAA title or buy fucking cards that are fucking won't give me fucking shit. Like, it doesn't make any fucking sense. Like, why am I putting money into this? Like, it doesn't, you know, I find their deals like I've put a lot of time into Clash Royale and I've put money into the game, but I would say maybe I've put $12 into that game, where it's like, okay, you usually charge $6.99 for this. This stuff's 99 cents right now. Okay, I'll buy one. I'll buy two.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, here's $1. Here's $2. You know what I mean? Like this is a an 80-90% discount. But when you're discounting something that's $190 and you're bringing it down to $60, it's like,
what a deal.
Even
best
then,
value.
even then, if you just look at the value, it's not even a deal. Like, you know what I mean? Like, but there's way more value in those, like these super magical chests give you the ultimate rare cards and the ultimate legendary cards. You know what I mean? Like, so you want those, so they don't really give you a good deal on those. You know what I mean? Like those, it's we live in a world where microtransactions exist, and I'm not disappointed by microtransactions because I think there's a place for them, but I don't think that everyone is doing it. I don't think anyone's doing it properly. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like, I still, well, I mean, there are some things that are done properly. Like, I think, like I said, we joke about you spending money on space trucking, and that's, I think I have more of a problem with the fact that it costs $5 for something that just baubles like visually. Like, I think that
That
stuff,
pumpkin though.
that stuff is. I'm not. I'm. I really think that microtransactions, if you're just like, if they add microtransactions and it's just visual, I really like that shit. I think that's great. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I really like that there's more options to differentiate you from other players in that game. You know what I mean? Like, if your ship looks ultimately different and like it's very rare as opposed to what it looks like. You know, you could have the
Yeah.
same ship, but it's a different color, it has a different color logo. Like, I love that unique. And if you have to pay to be unique, that's great. But just don't fucking rate me on that. You know what I mean? Like, I still think
Yes. Yeah.
maybe $5.99 is a little rich for my
That's
blood, but I still
that's
think that's it. That I'm okay with it. Like, if you
yeah.
want to spend that money, go for it. Like,
I had that exact feeling when I was playing Path of Exile. I started playing it. We did a stream of it. And I was like, I really dig this game. This game's really cool. It's kind of like Diablo. This is right up my alley. And so I said, it's a free to play game, so I'll dump some money into it. Why not, right? So I started looking up. There was like weapon customizations that you could do. None of this is like for game upgrades. This is all just visuals, right? So it was like your weapons would drip blood. And I thought, oh fuck, that
yeah,
sounds cool. Let's do that. So I go to look at it, and it was like 200 points. I was like, okay, well, what's 200 points? $20. I was like, for a fucking dripping blood thing, like $20? Like, no, guys, you fucked up. And so I was like, yeah, I'm out. I'm out. But then later on in the stream, somebody had popped on and was saying there's a marketplace in the game, like an auction house, and I think you can use real money to buy in-game stuff. So people are like farming items and then selling them, and then using that money to buy, visual upgrades and
okay.
things like that. I think. I don't know. I'm not sure, but I think that's what's happening. Uh, but still, it's like this is way too fucking expensive, like way too rich for me. I was like, I want to have my guy look cool. I want to help the developer, but the prices that it's just like, this is the shittiest fucking price, guys. No
Yeah.
thanks. I'm out. So
I mean, where did they come up with the metrics for this that make it? That
there
comes up
is
with
a
that number.
there is a chart somewhere with two lines that says this is the price that people are willing to pay, and this is the price that we can charge. And they're like, okay, there, perfect. I'm like,
Yeah,
that's it's like the best average. Like, okay, that's what we'll go with. And
well, and that's exactly it. It's the I mean, it's just the society we live in. The 1% that are spending the money on this stuff ruin it for the rest of the people. Do you know what I mean?
Or
Like,
maybe they're just like, you'll buy the bundle because that's $30, but it comes with a bunch of stuff, as opposed to
true.
$15 for the one thing, right? So
Right.
it's like, but yeah, that's. Anyways, so yes, at the end of the day, sad story about Visceral,
Yeah.
and you can probably blame loot boxes for it. because they wanted to make a single player game without loot boxes, and that just didn't fly for whatever reason.
Well, those guys are smart. Like, it's one of those things where I feel like every time this happens, something else emerges from it that makes it better. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of smart people that work in video games, and they're, it makes, but it gives us potential for different. You know what I mean? Like, I think the more that these AAA studios kind of splinter, the more independent great shit that we see. Do you know what I mean?
I hope
like,
so. Yeah.
I think we sort of live in a flooded market too, because in what world would we have noticed Victor Vran before it being on special? Like, you know what I mean? Like, stuff has sort of flooded the market, good games and everything. Like, there's tons of good games, but nothing can actually, nothing really. And no game makes a huge chunk of money now, so it's got to, like, all these small games have to make average money and have to be developed. But I think as a result of it, we're seeing very strange and unique stuff that I think gets fucking destroyed in a huge AAA studio. So I it's very interesting. It's sad at the same time. But let's move on to that other piece of news that supposedly Sony is supposed to make a big announcement tomorrow. They're
Yes,
supposed to do
the Paris Game Show.
yeah. There's what is it? I don't know if I have the time right. I think I saw it was 8 Pacific Standard Time or
Okay.
11 Eastern Standard Time, and they're supposed to make an announcement on 21 game
21
updates.
games. Wow. Updates. What does that mean?
Update to 21 games, and then an announcement of 7 new games that weren't announced at E3.
Kind of cool. Kind of cool.
But there was
I
some.
love the timing too, right? It's like a week before the X comes out. I love this timing. It's real sneaky. Real sneaky.
Do you think that would hinder the Xbox One X sales?
Look, I don't I think the Xbox One X is like apparently it did really well pre-order wise. But I still don't think it's going to be like
Gangbusters?
yeah, like I don't like because of the price point, right? Like it's not a cheap system, so I don't think it's going to be like Microsoft's betting on this thing to make or break it. Like I think it's just it I feel like it's going to be like the Elite controller. It's
Right.
expensive, and if it sells great, awesome. But they don't need it to sell like millions and millions of units for them to think of it as a success. I think like you can't get an original Xbox now. Original Xbox One, it's now just the S and just the X. So that's their two kind of platforms now. And it's just kind of like I guess it's like iPhones, right? Like you got the 8 and the X. So it really depends on like what you want to get, or what you can afford to get. So yeah, they haven't positioned it as the new system. They've just positioned it as the better system. Like if you want, like if you've, I don't have a 4K TV, but I'm still getting a 1X because it's super sample stuff. But like totally, the quick sell is you got a 4K TV and you want the best looking stuff and the most powerful console, you'll get this one.
You're still going to get.
That's not a very big market, right? So I don't know.
But it's doing it's the same. Like we keep saying that everyone thinks 4K, but I mean we're still going to have better looking games at 1080p because there's going to be more detail. Yeah. We'll be able to run more detail. We'll be able to run at 60 frames a second for sure. So
yeah,
I think people who are buying it just for 4K, that I think is a small market, but I think like Setzer says, power users know that this is a powerful console. They know what they're getting into, and they know they need to have it. Like, but I mean, I think at the same time, there's still a lot of people who are technically not savvy who are like, what's the most powerful system?
Yes, there'll still be
Xbox One X. I'm buying that.
Game store and says, which one's the most powerful? This one. All right, that's the one I'll get.
Right. I think there's a use. I think ultimately, I'm of the opinion that the PlayStation 4 did so well because of that. Like,
yeah,
a lot of people are like, which one's more powerful? Which one's more powerful? And like, we were talking about ES RAM or whatever, and everyone's like, what? Fuck this. PlayStation has faster memory. We're buying that. You know what I mean? Like,
that was an easy decision for people to make, and it was cheaper too because it didn't come with a camera like the Xbox One did at launch, right? It came with the Kinect, which made it $100 more expensive, or was it $50 more expensive? I think it was 50, but still, it was like it's more expensive, and it was 100.
Yeah, it was 100. Yeah.
And it's like $100 more, and it's not as powerful. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
that didn't help at all. Hey, guess what? They're phasing out the
and it's officially dead. Yeah. As of this week, they stopped manufacturing them. But I read a good article this week on the Kinect. The Kinect was a test for a lot of stuff, and even though it didn't sell gangbusters and they're officially killing off, that technology that they created with Kinect has been implemented into a shit ton of stuff. Like Some of the technology with the depth perception is in the HoloLens, and some of the face recognition stuff is in the Surface. You know, like right now on Windows 10, I walk up to my Surface and it recognizes me, and it unlocks my computer. Like,
Right.
there's tons of
Well,
stuff they created off the technology of the Kinect that they've made their computers systems like more stuff easier. So you know, I think
it was a way to do research, but also make money off of that research.
right. And
Eventually, right?
yeah, essentially I think it killed the it gave the system a bad name, but you know, I like that piece of hardware. I thought it was decent. I still think that it could have been utilized better, and
Yeah,
you know,
I feel bad for any developer that was putting a lot of time and effort into making things for it, and then having the S come out without it, because then it was just kind of like, well, that essentially just killed off any Kinect game, you know, because it's like, well, at least when the system first came out and you were making a Kinect game, you were like, well, everybody has one of these, like everybody has one. But then as they brought out systems that didn't have the Kinect, then it was like, well, some people have it and some people don't have it.
Right.
And then that market gets smaller and smaller. And you know, I have one, but it hasn't been plugged in for forever. And I don't think I'll plug it into the One X either. So
well, I don't. I'm tempted because right now
the only thing I really liked about it was that it had the IR blaster on it. But I think the new systems, like the S, has that built into the console, right? So I don't need it plugged in for that. And the kids haven't asked to play Kinect games in a long time. So
my I brought my, like, obviously when I started streaming, I brought my S down here, so my Kinect is sort of sat upstairs in my living room, but my X is going to go in my living room, so I'm almost tempted to plug in because I have the adapter, I have all that stuff.
Right. Yeah.
So I'm tempted to plug that into my X, but at the same time, who knows? Like like, for example, like when we played Battlefield this last couple of weeks, you know, I managed to grab a clip every time, like I wanted to save a clip, but you know, double tapping and pressing X, like we don't have a media button on our controller. Like,
well, I do, because I have the chat pad. So here, let me show you.
So do I need a chat pad then?
Okay, so here's my chat pad. Okay.
Okay.
So chat pad on this side is X1, right here, that button.
Yeah.
And on this side is X2. Okay.
Right.
So X1 does screen grab and X2 does video grab. So I never have to double tap the circle. And that has made the cost of the chat pad. Not only that though, like sending messages to people is always faster too with the chat pad. But having just those 2 extra buttons, totally worth the price of admission on the chat pad.
Yeah, I'm tempted to get one. Just kind of, what? I just realized that I've been plugging in plug this guy into my Elite controller.
Oh yeah, okay. So,
but the Elite controller has it.
It's been a while. The Elite controller doesn't need that though, right?
I know it doesn't. I'm curious of why I put it on there. I think I like the volume buttons more than anything.
Yeah.
You know,
the chat pad also has a volume.
Yes.
Use the inline volume. Yeah. Because you can still do the volume control on the console, can't you?
Yeah, but you have to go into the menu,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I like the going to just pressing the buttons, but like, yeah. So the two video I took this past week when we were playing Battlefield, you know, at the end of every clip, it's like me, every time I press the menu button, Battlefield gets paused. So the end of each clip is just like, the menu comes out. It's just like, it makes my it's sort of, I hate to say that the awesomeness is still in that clip, but at the end of it, it's just kind of like, it's like a sad ending to it.
You know what, like go in and edit them now, right? Because you got to go in and just lop off that last little bit.
Right. I was like, fuck, all this extra work. If I just
not
said
worth it.
Xbox, save a screenshot. Although honestly, I think I've gotten in the habit of not having to connect it. I might not even. Who knows? Fucking Connect. Rest in peace, Connect.
Rest in peace.
You were
We
good.
pour one out for you, Connect.
Yeah.
You were so loved and yet so hated.
But speaking of adapters,
Yes, talk to me.
Segue. With that latest, I found out this week that with that latest update to the Nintendo Switch, GameCube GameCube controllers are now compatible with the Switch.
The Switch.
So
Amazing.
when Smash Brothers came out on the Wii U,
They released that adapter, right?
they released a 4-player adapter that had the GameCube adapters into it. So they've made that adapter now compatible with the Switch. So you just can take that adapter.
So you can play Switch games with your
GameCube controllers.
GameCube controller. That's kind of awesome.
Yeah,
that's kind of awesome.
But you still have to have that adapter.
Okay, but that's okay. Those weren't like made in like super limited supply, right? Those are easy to find. Oh boy.
This is Nintendo we're talking about, right?
You know what? God damn it, Nintendo. Why?
Yeah, so I have tons of GameCube controllers. You know, when I bought my GameCube used, and I came with 4 controllers, and then Jen has a GameCube with 3 controllers. So we have tons of GameCube controllers.
Oh man, yeah, you do.
So when we bought Smash Brothers for the Wii U, we were like, okay, let's get that adapter. We could not find that fucking adapter. And so I was looking on eBay and all over the place, and it's $100. I was just like,
yikes,
guys, this is ridiculous. So I was super stoked at one point because I would love. I think one of my little joysticks is broken. I'm having connectivity issues with one of my
your Switch controllers.
Yeah, the left side of my Switch controller.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Is that one of those things that was an issue with the controllers at first, like some sort of weird, like the way it was soldered or something bizarro that was causing like a connection issue?
Well, that's what the issue I'm having. The left side just never just loses. Like we were playing Super Mario Brothers, and you go to stop, and the guy just keeps running. He runs right off the edge.
Not good. Not cool at all.
So I found when I sat closer to the TV, or closer to the Switch, I didn't have that problem. So it really seems like it's a Bluetooth connectivity issue, much like I had with Jen's Xbox.
I'm pretty sure you can get that. I'm pretty sure you can get that replaced.
Oh yeah, totally. But
yeah,
at the same time, it's like I could easily just plug a GameCube. Like,
yeah, that would be an awesome fix. Absolutely.
Super Mario Odyssey would be fucking sweet with a GameCube controller. Like
maybe you should just buy that Pro controller for $200 or whatever it is. Fucking asshole.
Murph said the same fucking thing. It's like, just buy the Pro controller. Just stick with the Pro controller. Yeah. And I saw him playing Mario Odyssey, and he was like, it has all the motion controls and stuff like that with it too, right? So.
Oh, I didn't know the Pro controller has the motion sensors. That's pretty cool. Okay.
Yeah. So, funny. The motion sensors in the Switch are actually really good. There was one area where you were trying to find a moon, and it was like, okay, you got to move around, and like it would like vibrate, but you could feel it. Like you could feel it on the left, and you could feel it on the right, and you could feel it like south and north, and you know what I mean? Like you really
that
could
HD rumble, man. That HD rumble.
Just to think. To go from Nintendo 64, it had this fucking huge cube with one fan that would just go weep, 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 to just like these fucking small controllers that are this big. Yeah, it was super loud.
I remember the Dreamcast one was just like, it's like I wouldn't have it plugged in most of the time because it made such a fucking racket.
You remember the technology behind that was just like, it was just a fan that they took a blade off of, and they would spin it with off balance just so it would shake. That's great. So, but let's end it on that. That's episode 30. I want to go out on a ledge and just say that we are the longest running web show on Mixer today.
Whoa, that is a bold statement. I don't.
I've
That's
seen
not
some-
true at all.
I've seen some web shows, but nothing. No one has been around as long as us. So I'm gonna say we're
Not-
the number one
No,
longest running.
Don't take that. That's not legal.
It doesn't have to be legal. I'm just putting it out there. We are the number one longest running web show on Mixer to date.
I'm in. Let's do it.
Episode 30 in the books.
Episode 30 in the books.
All right.
Feels good.
So what's this week? Anything special this week to?
Path of Exile. I might do some more Wolfenstein, and we're gonna send off Forza Horizon on Tuesday. We're gonna do some streaming of Forza Horizon on Tuesday, because that's the last Forza-thon. So
Perfect.
So yeah, we're gonna switch it up a little bit.
So Monday to Friday.
Monday to
10,
Friday.
10 a.m. to whenever Zorbs gets hungry. Catch Zorbs on Mixer. Obviously, ZORBSIE. Give him a follow. Get him up to that 550 followers there shortly.
Hey. We're just trying to get to 300. All right, just
You got
trying
it.
to get to
You'll
300.
get
We're
there.
getting there. We're getting there. It's going good. It's going good.
Tuesday, I think maybe some more Victor Vran. I don't know. We'll see what you're up
Maybe
to.
we'll do a co-stream for that, because last time I was feeling sick and I didn't want to actually be on camera, so
I'm
just-
down.
But yeah, maybe we'll do a co-stream of that. Yeah.
Tuesday, and then Thursday we'll do some more Battlefield
Yes, absolutely.
or more Victor Vran unless Kmart shows up. I'm kidding. If Kmart shows up, I'll totally Battlefield. All right. Or Tasty Lemons. I'm gonna kill some
Tasty
blueberries. So if you want to give us a follow, also follow us on Twitter. Same names, initials, and also we're also a member of the Shed team. Some really good members on Mixers. If you want a good wholesome group of nerds and good friends and good, check out the Shed stream team. As always, we'll see you guys later. We do this every Sunday, 9:30. We'll see you guys later. Episode 31 coming up soon.
Be good or be
good.
lucky.
Be good or be lucky. Word to your mother.